everybody, it's Andrew Gaffney with Retail TouchPoints. I'm here at NRF and I'm joined by Christian Floerkemeir with Scandit. Christian, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So mobile has been one of the hottest topics here at the show for sure. You guys have a unique offering in mobile. Tell us a little bit about it and what some of the conversations have been like for you here at the show.
So our value proposition sort of centers around reliable, swift barcode scanning and data capture in general on smart devices. Where traditionally you had to buy a dedicated device with custom optics to do this, we, through a machine learning approach and computer vision approach, make the same thing possible on a smartphone. Okay. And not only that, we sort of also look at like how can we change the user experience, how can we change efficiency by not just scanning one barcode at a time, but bringing an AI experience, augmented reality experience to the retail operations person, to the store associate, but also to the consumer, to just change bringing more of an e-commerce experience into the store.
Okay. Now, scanning with a consumer device, it's sort of new, it's a change for retailers. What's some of the questions or objections that you've run into?
Yeah. So one of the questions we typically see is it's very much around shared devices today. The status quo is you have a couple of data capture devices, mobile devices in the store for inventories, etc. And we're seeing with the sort of the whole trend of digital transformation, executives come to us and go and say, look, I'm in charge of digital transformation, but 85% of my workforce I can't reach because they don't have a personal device. How can I equip this? What are the ways? Is it BYOD? Is it devices and I subsidize them? So there's a lot of questions around how can I provide security updates over lifetime, and there's all examples of that exist, but that's common questions we get.
Okay. Now, in terms of the rollouts that you've seen, are people using a range of devices? Are they using iOS and Android? Are they using tablets and smartphones?
So we would say it's like either companies, they're either iOS companies or they're Android companies. Yeah. So that's mixed, very few mixed deployments there. You see mixed deployments when a customer decides to go for BYOD deployment, where they're leveraging the devices the store associates already have anyway. In those cases, it's mixed. But other than that, it's and very predominantly a smartphone form factor, unless you in a customer assistance clienteling scenario where you want more screen real estate. Okay. But the reality is, if you want the device to be always on the person, the larger the device gets, the less likely that's going to be the case.
In terms of where you're seeing the most activity, can you talk about any specific customers? Can you talk about sectors or segments where you're seeing the most deployments?
So we're seeing like when we sort of look at, we distinguish consumer-facing applications and store associate-facing applications. And on the store associate side, mobile point of sale being a big driver. You just have a device, you have a Bluetooth-connected payment processing device, and it's the only thing you have. No additional hardware with higher TCO, with maintenance issues for barcode scanning. So mobile point of sale is something that we're seeing. A lot of retail ops, inventory management, and then customer assistance. Well, advising the customer, is something in inventory, is it not? One of our customers, Auchan, they counted the number of steps each employee takes, and they noticed that the average employee does 15 to 20,000 steps every day. That's if you and I compare about being NRF walking around, that's what a store associate does every day. That's a hard job, and so what we've seen is that retail operations companies saying, actually taking an HR angle and saying, not so much for efficiency for sure, but how can I make the life of my store associate less tedious, less walking around, so that if you come and ask me a question about is something available in size, I don't know, I need to walk to the shelf first, then to my back room, to log into a PC, look up the data, walk back out, and then find you and provide that, but they can do that at the scan of a shelf label.
Right. Are there like partners as part of your plan? Is it partner ecosystem?
So our solution is all around providing the enterprise-grade data capture and augmentation capabilities. So we partner on the accessory side with folks that provide cases, accessories to hold the devices. We partner with software providers on the mobile point of sale space, in the clienteling space, for customer system purposes, in the retail ops side, and then of course in the hardware side as well for the different operating systems.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for walking us through this.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks. Bye bye.